composite functions. So what is a composite function? So a composite function is a function whose values are found from two given functions, such as we'll say f of x and g of x, by applying one function to an independent variable and then applying the second function to the result. Okay, so best really shown by example. Okay, so here we have from our notes again, we have examples of composite functions. So you're given two functions, f of x, which is x plus 3, and g of x, which is x squared minus 1. And you're asked to find f of g of 2. Okay, so you can see it written like this, f of g of 2. Okay, so it's f after g of 2. So you do the g of 2 first of all. Okay, so you take your g of x, which is x squared minus 1, and you find g of 2, which is 2 squared minus 1, which is going to give us an answer of 2 2s are 4, take away 1, which is 3. Okay, so what you have to do then is you have to find f of the answer or the result, which is 3. So it's f of 3 now you're looking for. Okay, so you take your f of x function, which is x plus 3. Okay, and everywhere you see x, you put in 3. So it's going to be 3 plus 3. So the answer to that is 6. Okay, part 2 is asking for g of f of minus 1, or g after f of minus 1. So g f of minus 1. So the first thing you do is you find f of minus 1. So f of x is equal to x plus 3, and f of minus 1 is minus 1 plus 3, which gives us an answer of 2. So we're finding now g of the result, which is 2. So g of x is x squared minus 1, so it's 2 squared minus 1, which is 4, take away 1, which gives us an answer of 3. Part 3, we're asked to find f after g of x. Okay, so f of g of x. Okay, so it's f of our g of x, which is x squared minus 1. Okay, so we take our f of x function, which is x plus 3, and everywhere we see x, we replace it with x squared minus 1. So f of x squared minus 1 is, instead of x, we're putting in x squared minus 1, and we're adding on 3. So we're getting an answer of x squared plus 2. Okay, and part 4 then is asking us to find g of f of x, or g after f of x. Okay, now we already know what f of x is. It's x plus 3. So we now have to find g of x plus 3. So we take our g of x function, which is x squared plus 1, and everywhere we see x, we replace it with x plus 3. So it's x plus 3 all to be squared plus 1. Okay, so that's going to be x plus 3 by x plus 3 plus 1, which is going to give us x squared plus 6x plus 9 plus 1, which gives us, I think I've taken this down wrong. Yeah, it should be minus 1 here. Okay, x squared minus 1. Okay, and 9 take away 1, which leaves us with x squared plus 6x plus 8 for part 4. Now the question asks us, find also the value of x for which f of g of x equals g of f of x. Okay, so very simply, f of g of x equals g of f of x. Now we know what f of g of x is. It's x squared plus 2, and we let it equal to g of f of x, which is x squared plus 6x plus 8. Okay, so you can see there that the x squareds are going to cancel. So we have 6x is equal to 2 minus 8. So 6x is equal to minus 6, and that gives us a value of x equal to minus 1. Okay, now another example on this is f of x, two functions again, or three functions here given, f of x, g of x, and h of x. Okay, so f of x is 2x plus 1, g of x is 1 over x, and h of x is x squared minus 4. Okay, and the first one you're asked is to find g of f of x. So g after f of x. And just again, you might see it written as g-o f of x. Sometimes the o is for the after, g after f of x, okay? So we know that f of x is 2x plus 1. So it's basically g of 2x plus 1. So our g of x function is 1 over x. So everywhere we see x, we replace it by 2x plus 1. So it's 1 over 2x plus 1. So that's our g of 2x plus 1. Now part 2, the terminology is a little different. It's f squared of x. So that's just f of x, okay? Or f after f of x, okay? So it's f, the function f of x, which we know is 2x plus 1. Okay, so it's our f of x function, which is 2x plus 1, and it's f of 2x plus 1. So everywhere we see x, we replace it by 2x plus 1. So it's going to be 2 by 2x plus 1, which is going to give us 4x plus 2 plus 1, which is going to give us an answer of 4x plus 3. Okay, now part 3 is g after h of x. G after h of x, okay? So it's g of h of x is x squared minus 4, okay? So we take our g function, g of x function, which is 1 over x. So g of x squared minus 4 is just simply, instead of x, replace it with x squared minus 4. So it's 1 over x squared minus 4, okay? And part 4 of the question is asking us to find h squared of x. So remember, h squared just denotes h of x, or h-o h of x. So it's h of x, which we know is x squared minus 4, okay? So we take our h of x function, which is x squared minus 4, and now we find h of x squared minus 4. So everywhere we see x, we replace it by x squared minus 4, okay? So x squared minus 4, all to be squared minus 4. So working that out, it's x squared minus 4 by x squared minus 4, take away 4. So it's going to be x to the power of 4, and it's going to be minus 8x squared, and it's going to be plus 16, take away 4. So x to the power of 4 minus 8x squared plus 12, okay? Now, in part 5 of the question, okay, it's asking us for h after f after g of x. So definitely a bit longer, okay? So we have 3 things to do. So it's like h of f of g of x, okay? So the first thing we know is we know what g of x is, so we don't really have any work to do here. So it's going to be h of f of, instead of g of x, we're just going to write in 1 over x, okay? So we're going to find f of 1 over x. So we know that f of x is equal to 2x plus 1. So f of 1 over x is going to be 2 by 1 over x plus 1, okay? So we're going to get f of 1 over x, which is 2 over x plus 1, okay? Now, the next thing we're asked to find is, now if we wanted, we could write that with common denominator, probably make it a bit easier, because I think we have to square it in the next part. So common denominator will be x, so x and x goes 1, so it'll be 2 plus x all over x, okay? So remember, it was h of f of 1 over x, okay? So it's now going to be h of 2 plus x all over x, okay? So h of x function is x squared minus 4, and h of 2 plus x all over x is going to be 2 plus x all over x, all to be squared, minus 4, okay? So that's going to give us 2 plus x by 2 plus x. We're squaring the top and squaring the bottom, so when you square x, you get x squared, take away 4. So on the top, 2 2's are 4, and it's going to be plus 2x, and plus 2x is plus 4x plus x squared all over x squared, take away 4, Okay, so definitely best to get a common denominator. Okay, so we have, I think that's it simplified, is it? So 4 plus 4 over x plus x squared all over x squared take away 4. Okay, and part 6 of the question is asking us find the values of x for which g of h of x is equal to 1/12. Okay, so g of x squared minus 4 is equal to 1/12. So just look to see, have we got that already? We actually do. G of h of x up here is 1 over x squared minus 4. Okay, so it's 1 over x squared minus 4 is equal to 1/12. Okay, so cross multiply, so you'll be left with 12 equals x squared minus 4, or x squared minus 4 minus 12 is equal to 0. So x squared minus 16 is equal to 0. So that's going to be the difference of two squares. X minus 4, x plus 4 equal to 0. So x is equal to 4 and x is equal to minus 4. Alternatively, you could have gone x squared is equal to 16. X is equal to the square root of 16, but you've got to remember that you can have the plus or the minus 4. Okay, that's a very good example of a composite function question.